All right. All right. So hey, I just took some words and I'm back. Now I'm gonna talk about something that if you really have this proposition in mind, prepare to come to China, come to travel or come to work, whatever. I'm gonna talk about something that you need to know before you come into China. Uh, First of all, the language things. Uh, you see, language is not very easy to learn, especially Chinese. Chinese uh, is way more complicated than English. All right, so because English has 26 different characters, all right, so just mix up together so it can be sentence, it can be words, it can express meanings. But Chinese characters are a lot more difficult because each of every one of them is different. There are 6,000 or more Chinese characters, like in total. Even though, you know, in the daily life, uh, the Chinese characters we're gonna use all the time. The number is nearly 2,000 to 3,000. So there's a lot of characters and a lot of hard work to do to if you actually trying to learn Chinese. So it's not like everybody can do here. Before they came in here, they have learned the languages. So the first thing I think you guys gonna need is a translation app. Everybody get their smartphones now, no matter it's an Android or an iPhone. You have smartphones, which means you can have apps. When you have apps, you see you can have translation apps. Choose a good one. Actually, choose something that can translate your voice into Chinese sentence. That will be good. Excuse me, I've been talking all day, so my thoughts are a little bit. So this is the first thing you're gonna need because when you get to a place, if no one understood you, then it will be terrible because if they can't understand you, you know what I'm saying, right? So the translation, as a translation app, is one thing you're gonna need. Or if you have a higher demand, then you can have a translation machine. It's not very expensive and it's actually very small. You can just clip it on your shirt or something, then you're good to go. So, because communication is such an important thing, so just if you're preparing for this, write that down on your notebook or whatever. Just remember it. Just this is the first thing. Well, the second thing I think is absolutely uh, very important is knowing what kind of thing you do might offense offending Chinese people. Because you see, we take respect uh, and manners extremely carefully. All right, we do not uh, we do not really we don't really accept smoking in public area. So that's for one thing, and we don't really talk very loud in the public area. When I say public area, I mean on the street, in the restaurant. Yeah, some of them might be yelling, but most of us we do not really accept that. And when you're taking a taxi, especially when you took a taxi, don't slam the door because that could be considered as not respected. So But of course, you can always see, so the culture has differences. So there's something we might do to maybe offensive to you, but most of the time we will solve that we will say sorry. If you did anything wrong in here, you should always say sorry, right? So and coming to China, then you can use WeChat and Alipay to pay your bills. So you don't really need to uh, take a lot of cash with you. You can put them in the credit card or debit card, and just add them into Alipay and WeChat, and you're good to go. We use WeChat in the country. It's very easy to use. It's a very good app. I recommend it to all of you. If you come to here, use it to chat with your friends and families. The reason why I don't recommend taking a lot of cash is because nowadays in China, uh, using a smartphone to pay the bill, it's a more popular and more regular things to do. None of Chinese really take too many cash with them. You're gonna you know, increase a chance of losing money. I'm not talking about being robbed or something. It's just simply easy to lose. I think that's two most important things you need to be careful about. Also, going anywhere, you should look after yourself and be careful with your stuff. That's that could be used all over the world, not only in China. So I don't live in Shanghai or Beijing, these big cities. I live in Nantong, right here. So this is a city with a middle size near Shanghai and Suzhou. It's very it's a very good city to live, and it's modern enough, but the pace in this city is actually a lot slower than Shanghai and Beijing because they're major cities, so uh, the pace, the living pace in those cities are absolutely fast. That's a little bit that's not like what I really wanted. What I really like is it Nantong as a city itself has a good economy as well, and it has many interesting places to visit. Uh, you see, even though I'm not really go out or something, but I do know a couple of interesting places you can visit, like Wolf Hill. Wolf Hill is a hill that's very famous in Nantong. This hill uh, is very famous for Buddhas, and it's not like a very big mountain. It's a hill. Its height is 106.94 4 meters, and of course you where you have Catholic churches on it. So it got a lot of trees, and it's outside the city. So wherever you need to take a break from your real life, or whatever you need to get some rest, you can always go there, take some fresh air, just recruit, and be ready again. Otherwise, we have other, like KTVs, places you can have fun with. We have two major shopping malls in here. One is called Golden Eagle, and the second is called Middle South. The Middle South is the biggest shopping mall in the city, and including a shopping mall, clothes market, and of course a dining room and film theaters. The building itself looks very pretty, and it looks even better in the night at night. So if you have a chance to get into there, have a chance to look at it. So of course, if you came to China, then you gotta go to very possibly gonna go into Shanghai and Beijing because they are just two significant cities you can see in there. Well, in Shanghai, you can see the tower, you can see the TV tower, and walk the sky. Basically, walk in the sky because the floor was clear. Um, and in Beijing, there are famous bars and shopping malls you can visit. Everything. So so that's how it is. Then Beijing. Beijing is also this major places. It's a sign of big city in China. So center of China. Plenty of things to see in the city. And to me, most of all, Tiananmen Square and of course Great Wall. The Great Wall was an ancient building ancient construction which was used to defend the inventors. Nowadays, it has been repaired for a couple of times. So nowadays, you're looking at it, you can actually see it. You can see this as an ancient miracle. Climbing on it, it gonna gain success feelings in your heart. So I'm exhausted, man. Hmm. All the things you can expect in here was theoretically it's gonna have everything you ever wanted. You see, our country is this country with 5,000 years back a cultural background, right? So we have different festivals, like traditional festivals, like all of the year. We knew that Western typical Western festivals, so Eastern Halloween and Christmas. So that's typical Western festivals, right? Plus, we have mid autumn, Chinese New Year. Basically, and some others, national days. We all have national days. But I want to talk about Chinese New Year. Uh, if you came in China in January or February, during 2 of these months, so it's very likely you're gonna experience Chinese New Year. So Chinese New Year, it will last officially like 15 days, but at the seventh day, people are going back to work. So let's talk about the first 7 days. So Chinese New Year actually started at one night before Chinese New Year. That day we call it, the day like Christmas Eve, things like that. People gathering around the family, sitting at the same table, they toast it, they talk about it, they having fun. And then after a while, uh, after 12 o'clock, some places still, but most of them have already banned to fire fireworks. So but some of the places still shoot fireworks. It blasts and make a lot of noise. Everything just feel, you know, everything just feel happy. Everyone just feel happy and celebrating the New Year's coming. And the first day, the Chinese New Year day, that particular day, people go out and visit their relatives, and the children can get a red pocket with money in it. So it's a very like most important festival to all the Chinese, and the environment, the that was worth experimenting. All right, so if you choose to travel to China during winter, then do it in January and February, because that's the most hottest point uh, through the whole year. So let's conclude it a little bit. Uh, what do you need during Chinese New Year? Basically, you need a good translation app. Uh, you need to know in advance what kind of things you have to do, what kind of manner you have to or you have to obey. Uh, just yes, that's basically how it is. Oh, and bring your passport and of course ID with you all the time. Just don't leave it in the hotel or the place you live, because sometimes you're gonna need them. Uh, but don't take credit card with IDs. Don't put them together, because there's a chance you will lose them. That you lose both of them, there will be a big trouble. So now I'm here. Basically, I'm waiting someone want to ask me questions. You know. Well, do forgive me. I'm gonna pass out a little bit to go to the bathroom for a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm back.